There's still no word yet on when Daniel Andrews will be speaking to media, but there are growing fears that there will be more postcodes told to lock down if we see another surge in the cases. Obviously, yesterday we had the darkest day here in Melbourne since in Victoria since the crisis began. 127 new cases and, of course, those 2 tragic deaths. Now, there is word today that there could be as many as 200 new confirmed cases overnight, which is leading many to speculate that we could see further lockdowns. Now, here there's still much uncertainty for these 9 towers under that hard lockdown, which means, of course, they cannot leave. The public health order was for 2 weeks. They were told that they'd be locked down for at least 5 days, after which time the Premier would make a call on whether that was needed to be extended or whether people would have that eased. But the Federal Health Minister, Greg Hunt, today has said that we should really expect or not rule out the chance that there may be a full lockdown again across Melbourne.
At this stage, what we see is that the focus is the north and the west of Melbourne. I don't think that anybody can rule out that if the disease continues to spread, there could be further restrictions.
There is growing unrest within these public housing commissions. Lots of people from the start obviously had big lags in terms of getting the food they needed, and then some, when they finally did get it, some of it was expired. There's a lot of concerns about the mental health in there. There's a lot of people taking to their own social media accounts to express their dismay at the situation they're in. Chatting to lots of relatives out here, they said that a lot of the older people were tending to do okay, but it's a lot of the younger ones, particularly if they have young families, who are really struggling through this at the moment. And the Federal Labor member, Peter Khalil, had this to say.
Now the invisible are becoming visible. You know, most people don't really think about people in housing or houses. They're unseen in many respects. So these are some of the most vulnerable and most disadvantaged people in our community. But that doesn't mean that they don't have a voice.
And Andrea, there has been this huge community effort, groups trying to help those stuck out in these housing buildings. You caught up with some of them earlier.
That's right, Tom. The sick volunteers, they help feed the hungry every day of the year, but it's really been in these disaster situations where their spirit has really shown through. They were out at Bairnsdale in the East in Gippsland during the bushfires, and they've really ramped up throughout COVID. They're now well and truly over 100 days that they've been delivering meals to those who really need it most, and they were called upon to come help out when it came to these towers being locked down, delivering thousands of meals just in the past couple of days alone.
When that happens, they started contacting us on our webpage, on our emails, and we realized that, okay, we need to go there and help out. And yesterday, the day before yesterday, we went up there with a van full of meals and we served there. It is all donations from the community, and I'd like to correct here, it's 78,000.
78,000.
78,000 meals.
And it's good to see the community banding together as it did there, Tom.